Here's the good news. We live in an abundant universe with unlimited possibilities and potentials. And this universe loves us so deeply that it's always listening to us, and it always says yes to whatever we ask for. So wait a minute, why don't I have everything I've ever wanted? I mean, the formula sounds simple enough. Ask, and you shall receive. Jesus said it best. He said, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened. Okay, so universe, where's all my shit? The point of today's video is to fill in the missing link between asking and receiving by understanding the fundamental difference between asking for something and actually being ready to receive it. Let's start with the first part of the formula, asking. Now this is the easy part. This is the part where you get to take your imagination and stretch it as far and wide as you can. Really dig deep and ask yourself, what do I want? Not what do my friends and family want for me? Not what do I think I should want? But what do I truly and honestly want for myself? What is going to fulfill me? And it's funny because when I first started asking myself this question, I realized that I really didn't know exactly what I wanted. I mean, I had kind of like a basic understanding, like I want to be happy and I want to travel and I want to make an impact on the world, but I couldn't really go much deeper than that. And the more and more I asked myself this question, the clearer and clearer it became. See, the problem was that I had never really sat with myself and sought out an answer. So the first takeaway is to ask yourself, what do I want? And really dig deep and be honest with yourself. You know, one of my greatest mentors, Bob Proctor, always says, we don't go after what we want. We go after what we think we can get. And I think that is so true. Because the second we don't know how we're going to get something, it's off the table. That's no longer an option. I think that if we went after goals that we had absolutely no idea how we were going to achieve, we would surprise ourselves every single time. As we've discussed in previous videos, everything that you can conceive in your imagination already exists. So the only limits that you place on what you ask for are the ones that you give yourself. Pretend that the universe is like a catalog and you're shopping with an unlimited budget. The second part of the formula is, I think, where a lot of the confusion comes in, and that's receiving. Now, before I go on, I do encourage you to go check out my video on the law of vibration because it really explains how we draw things to ourselves. So to summarize the video, we understand that you can only attract into your life things that you are vibrating on the same frequency as. And your frequency is determined by whatever you're conscious of being. So let's look at an example. Let's say that I set a goal that by the end of the month, I want to make $1,000 to invest into my online business. And I say, please, universe, I really, really want $1,000. Well, what are you conscious of being? All that you're affirming is that you don't yet have the $1,000. And this is the same problem we run into when we pray for health by saying, please let me not be sick anymore. What are you conscious of being? Sick. Or when we pray for love because we feel like it's missing. Remember that you attract what you are, not what you want. So you must work yourself into a state of belief of already having that which you desire. You have to convince yourself that you already are the person who has attained it. I'm going to share with you some really easy tips to help get you into a state of belief instead of a state of lack. So the first question I want you to ask yourself is, okay, let's say the end of the month comes and I'm $1,000 richer. What is the first thing that I would say? Thank you. Gratitude is an incredibly powerful tool in working you into a state of belief because the emotion of gratitude alone tells you that you're receiving something. It makes you believe that you've already received whatever you're asking for. Gratitude puts you into the present moment of having that thing already, and that's why it's so important. In other words, gratitude changes your frequency to be in harmony with the thing that you desire. Another thing that you can do to work yourself into a state of belief is to act as if. This means thinking the thoughts of someone who's ready to start their online business, thinking the thoughts of someone who already has all the resources they need. You know, start planning it out, write it down, draw it. The more thoughts that you can think that that person would think, and the more actions that you can take that that person would take, the more you start to feel like that person who's already achieved the goal. And remember that feeling is frequency. So when you feel as if it's already been achieved, you automatically shift your frequency to be in line with the thing that you desire. And through the law of attraction, you draw it to yourself. The last tip I'm going to give you is something that Bob Proctor talked about when I went to his Paradigm Shift event in June of 2018. And he talked about falling in love. You know, he said when you fall in love with a person, all of a sudden, it's like they're a permanent fixture in your mind. Like no matter where you are or what you're doing, they're always there with you in some way. And it's because you become so emotionally connected to the idea of that person that now they're always in your field of awareness. Now imagine if we fell in love with our goals and dreams with the same intensity as we fall in love with people. Suddenly, they would always be in our field of awareness. And you know what? I think when we love a person, we start to consider them in every decision that we make. And sometimes we even start to revolve our decisions around them. So imagine if we did the same thing with our goals and dreams. Imagine if we started considering our goal in every decision that we made. All of a sudden, every decision would revolve around how can I get closer to my goal? Not only that, but when you fall in love with your goal, you feel so strongly about it. And when you feel deeply about something, you're on the same frequency as that thing. And when you're on the same frequency, through the law of attraction, you draw that thing to you. Receiving is really just about creating space for an experience to take place in your life. And when you can be grateful for it and believe and act as if it's already there, while feeling it with you strongly everywhere that you go, you are inviting that experience to your life with a power greater than you can ever imagine. Thank you so much for watching, and here's your reminder to enjoy every precious moment. For more videos like this one, follow @themindpalace.ca on Instagram, like @themindpalace.ca on Facebook, and subscribe to the Mind Palace channel on YouTube.